And when he'd finished his coffee, he would look in a demented way at the cup as though wondering what to do with it, throw it straight over his shoulder into the lake every evening.
For 6 long years we have been there, subject to local scorn and stare. We came by transport and by train, dull and brilliantly insane.
There was one cryptographer with red hair and a red beard, and he studied Japanese in the evening as a relief from his cryptography. But in the winter he wore a blue pixie hood on his beard. A pixie hood was things you put on babies' heads. And I always thought that was very strange. I never knew quite why he did it.
If I should die, think only this of me, I served my country at BP. And should my son ask, what did you do in the atomic World War II? God only knows, and he won't tell, for after all, BP was hell.
These are the men and women who broke the secret of the Enigma.
He's my favourite man. Oh. Did you know that Bill
Nice to see you.
so tired.
My memory of words is good. Yes. I know a lot of words.
Yes. Not for names, perhaps.
Not names of hope. Yes.
Who are all these dreadful people? Oh, sorry.
You Peter Twin.
Today they can talk about what they did there openly, many for the first time.
Jesus Scott.
Jesus, I also couldn't. My brother was Lion's individual pies, morning, noon and night.
One of the biographers had the audacity to say, did Dilly ever go to bed with any of his young ladies? So I said, now, come off it, young man. You're talking about a different age.
Some of the codebreakers were veterans of Room 40, and their skills were legendary. Dilly Knox was one of them.
I think that must have been where Dilly was.
Yeah.
And there was a... Dilly was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He wasn't a mathematician. He was a Greek scholar. He had read papyri and so on, an Egyptologist. And then he smoked his pipe.
Yes.
And a great green
Well, you say
smoke.
smoked his pipe. He had it in his mouth.
That's right. And then sometimes he put a sandwich in it by mistake.
Yeah. But I'm interested to see that the clock over there hasn't changed the time since I was here. It's said that for 56 years.
The sort of thing he would say to you is, which way does a clock go round? And if you were stupid enough to say clockwise, he'd just say, oh no, it doesn't, not if you're the clock. Of course, it's the opposite way, and that's sometimes how you had to think about the machines that you were doing, not just to look at them, how you saw them, but of course what was going on inside.
German confidence in the Enigma was not without reason. The Enigma was state-of-the-art technology. German operators could scramble their messages in millions and millions and millions of different ways. Pressing a typewriter key would light up a totally different letter. An electrical current was sent from the keys to the letters through a series of rotors. Each time a key was pressed, a rotor would turn, changing the wiring, and so changing the letter that was produced.
The total number of ways in which the Enigma machine can be configured for any particular message is 150 million. The chances of winning the lottery is 14 million to 1. This is a million times less chance of finding the answer to a cipher than winning the lottery. So it was an enormous complexity, which was why the Germans thought it was completely safe.
The Enigma was first developed as a commercial machine in the 1920s and even patented in London. German banks and the railways were among its first customers, but the German military were quick to see that it was ideal for war. German operators in the field received secret instructions from base on how to set up the machine for each day. They had to make 3 adjustments to the Enigma so that the senders and receivers' machines would match. First, which rotors to put into the machine and in what order.
The rotors contained one of the central secrets of the Enigma machine, which was the cross-wiring inside the wheels. The whole of this maze of wiring inside changed every time a letter was entered, and that's what gave the Enigma machine its vast complexity.
Secondly, to confuse the enemy even more, each of the rotors could be changed every day by adjusting the ring of letters around each rotor, 26 combinations on each wheel. The third step was the plug board. Using his secret instructions for the day, the operator could plug up each typewriter key to a totally different letter.
This is what the Germans thought was the killer cryptographically. This plug board enabled you to transpose letters completely, a pair of letters. Now, because there are 26 sockets on the front of the Enigma machine, you can plug these pairs of letters together in an absolutely astronomical number of combinations. About 1.5 million combinations that you can use on the front.
Once the machine was set up, the message was encoded letter by letter. These coded letters were then sent by Morse to the receiver at the other end. The Germans believed that with the Enigma, they had a foolproof system. By 1940, Hitler's war was still across the Channel. Poland, Norway and France had taken the brunt of the Nazi attack. For Britain, these early months were the phony war, a chance for Station X to prepare for whatever Hitler might do next. Station X had never seen an Enigma. All they had were groups of 5-letter code and endless patience. And in these first months, the new recruits were getting nowhere.
At the beginning of the war, there was a great difficulty because although we had intercepts which we knew were enciphered using the Enigma machine, we didn't know enough detail about the machine to be able to even begin to find any method of breaking it. Unless you've got the exact key, you just cannot get anywhere with it at all. And this is a major difference from any code systems prior to that, that the Enigma machine, there's no sense of nearness. You're not nearly at a solution. You've either got the solution or you haven't got the solution.
The story of how the Enigma was broken began 9 years earlier with a spy.